Get ready for the future because Qualcomm is launching an iconic consumer brand for the AI era. The Qualcomm CMO Don McGuire reveals the strategy behind the new campaign, Snapdragon. That's how, which aims to show how the Snapdragon brand will power modern consumer PCs. This massive marketing push, developed with agency 72 and Sunny, is setting a new standard for how tech giants build affinity in the age of artificial intelligence.
Never get caught with a dead phone again. This INIU portable charger is compact, travel-friendly, and gives you fast 45-watt charging with a built-in USB-C cable, so there's no need to carry extra cords. With 10,000 mAh power, it's perfect for busy days, trips, emergencies, or anytime your battery drops too low. Grab yours on Amazon through the link in the comments before your phone hits 1%.
Next up, we dive into the data science side of this revolution. We look at how Qualcomm is building the consumer brand Snapdragon specifically for the AI era, with CMO Don McGuire detailing the brand development work that culminated in that incredible new campaign by 72 and Sunny. This is a deep dive into the branding strategy that connects cutting-edge silicon to everyday consumer life. Now, let's talk market movers. Truist Financial Corp has increased its stake in Qualcomm Incorporated, growing its position by 2.8% in the last quarter, showing strong institutional confidence in the wireless technology company. We also examine the broader investor landscape, including major players like Vanguard Group Inc. and Wellington Management Group LLP, detailing the significant buying activity surrounding QCOM stock. And finally, we look at the stock action. Caesar Capital Partners LLC trimmed its position in Qualcomm Incorporated, while other major investors like Richardson Financial Services, Inc. and Glass Jacobson Investment Advisors, LLC made significant moves. With analysts weighing in on the stock and the company itself announcing a massive stock buyback authorization, what does this all mean for Qualcomm's future? Stay with us for the full breakdown. Qualcomm is aggressively building an iconic consumer brand for its Snapdragon processor in the age of artificial intelligence, with a new marketing campaign titled Snapdragon. That's how. Developed in partnership with agency 72 and Sunny, the campaign aims to position Snapdragon as the essential power behind modern consumer PCs. Qualcomm CMO Don McGuire stated that the core message is simple. Whatever you want to do, whenever and wherever you want to do it, it's you plus Snapdragon. If you have us powering your PC, you're going to do amazing things. The creative platform utilizes familiar, relatable scenarios featuring diverse consumer personas, including a freshman during orientation week, a scout leader, entrepreneurs launching businesses, and a maid of honor planning an event. The goal, according to 72 and Sunny CEO Ali Cornford, was to create moments where performance matters, focusing on consumers who invest heart into their endeavors, rather than simply discussing technical specifications. The campaign will be deployed across broadcast, connected TV, online, and social platforms including TikTok and Instagram, utilizing Snapdragon-powered hardware for production. An anthem film unifies these vignettes. The campaign is anchored by the tagline, "The processor your PC wishes it had." Furthermore, 72 and Sunny developed a design system centered around a transparent laptop, showcasing the Snapdragon processor at its core. Snapdragon's entry into the PC market in 2024 marks a strategic move to capture a category shifting from iteration to innovation. The brand has successfully built brand affinity, evidenced by its placement at number 38 on Kantar's Brandz list in 2025, surpassing major competitors like Nike and Disney. This push into PCs aligns with the broader industry transformation driven by the rise of AI agents. Qualcomm executives acknowledge that the development of agentic AI is reshaping their roadmap across all platforms. While the immediate mass consumer impact of computing power may be further down the road, Qualcomm is positioning Snapdragon for the future, anticipating a time when consumers will increasingly demand powerful computing solutions. The campaign intentionally avoids overly technical jargon, focusing instead on down-to-earth, aspirational use cases, such as using AI on a Snapdragon laptop to instantly pivot plans after a travel disruption. Qualcomm is actively developing the Snapdragon consumer brand specifically tailored for the AI era, according to Chief Marketing Officer Don McGuire. McGuire elaborated on the company's brand development initiatives, which are set to culminate in a new campaign spearheaded by the agency 72 and Sony. While corporate branding for a major semiconductor manufacturer significantly influences market perception and consumer visibility, its direct impact on AI and machine learning practitioners remains relatively modest. In related developments, there is an emphasis on practical, data-driven learning resources, including a 5-minute Monday brief focused on AI and data science, curated to be concise and substantive, free from unnecessary filler or spam. These resources emphasize practical application, such as practicing with real ad tech data, and offer extensive coding challenges, including 90 SQL and Python problems across 15 industry datasets, alongside 250 free problems available without requiring a credit card. Institutional investor activity in Qualcomm stock shows continued interest, with major players increasing their stakes across various quarters. Truist Financial Corp., for instance, boosted its position in Qualcomm Incorporated shares by 2.8% in the fourth quarter, acquiring an additional 28,496 shares. Other significant movements include Vanguard Group Inc., which raised its stake by 0.6% in the fourth quarter, and Amundi, which increased its position by 9.9% in the third quarter. Wellington Management Group LLP saw a substantial 141.8% increase in its holding during the third quarter. Collectively, hedge funds and other institutional investors currently control 74.35% of Qualcomm stock. In broader market context, NASDAQ, QCOM opened at $177 on Monday. The stock is currently trading near its 52-week low of $121.99 and 52-week high of $205.95, with a market capitalization of $188.85 billion. Key financial metrics show a P/E ratio of 19.24 and a beta of 1.49. Qualcomm recently reported quarterly earnings, posting $2.65 earnings per share, surpassing the consensus estimate of $2.56, alongside revenue of $10.6 billion. While revenue saw a 3.5% year-over-year decline, the company reported a strong return on equity of 42.11% and a net margin of 22.31%. The company has set its Q3 2026 guidance for EPS between 2.1 and 2.3. Furthermore, Qualcomm authorized a $20 billion stock buyback plan, allowing it to repurchase up to 14.5% of its outstanding stock. The company also announced a quarterly dividend of 92 cents per share, up from the previous 89 cents, reflecting a positive shift in shareholder returns. Analyst sentiment remains mixed. Following recent reports, Seaport Research Partners reiterated a sell rating with a $100 price target, while J.P. Morgan Chase & Co. upgraded its price target to $160 and maintained a neutral rating. Loop Capital upgraded the stock to a buy rating with a $185 target, and DZ Bank issued a strong buy rating. Overall, an analyst consensus rating averages a hold, with a consensus price target of $172.40. On the insider front, Executive Vice Presidents Akash J. Palkhiwala and Heather S. Ace have recently sold shares, with Palkhiwala selling 2,500 shares and Ace selling 3,200 shares, representing decreases in their individual holdings. Over the last 90 days, corporate insiders have sold a total of 9,310 shares. Qualcomm, a global leader in semiconductor and telecommunications equipment, is recognized for its work in wireless technologies, including the Snapdragon platform and various connectivity solutions for IoT and automotive applications. Institutional investors have been actively adjusting their stakes in Qualcomm Incorporated, with several major players making notable changes in the recent quarter. Caesart Capital Partners LLC trimmed its position in QCOM by 1.8% in the fourth quarter, selling 8,350 shares, leaving the fund with 446,271 shares, which represents about 3.2% of its total holdings, and a value of $76.335 million. Other institutional activity highlights include Cloud Capital Management, LLC, acquiring a new position valued at $27,000, Richardson Financial Services, Inc., significantly increasing its stake by 90.9% in the fourth quarter, and Torin Management, LLC, establishing a new position worth approximately $29,000. Glass Jacobson Investment Advisors, LLC, also increased its holding by 113.5%, now owning 190 shares worth $32,000. Additionally, the board of the Pension Protection Fund added a new position valued at about $34,000. These institutional and hedge funds collectively hold 74.35% of Qualcomm stock. In broader market context, shares of Nasdaq QCOM opened at $177 on Monday. The company's valuation metrics show a market capitalization of $188.85 billion, a P/E ratio of 19.24, and a beta of 1.49. The stock has recently shown volatility, trading between a one-year low of $121.99 and a one-year high of $205.95. Qualcomm recently reported quarterly earnings on April 29th, posting $2.65 EPS, slightly exceeding analyst consensus estimates of $2.56. Revenue reached $10.6 billion, slightly surpassing the $10.59 billion consensus. The company demonstrated strong profitability with a return on equity of 42.11% and a net margin of 22.31%, although quarterly revenue saw a 3.5% decrease year-over-year. Looking ahead, Qualcomm has set its Q3 2026 guidance for EPS between 2.1 and 2.3. Management has signaled confidence through the initiation of a stock buyback program, authorizing the company to repurchase up to $20 billion in outstanding shares, allowing for purchases up to 14.5% of the stock through open market transactions. Furthermore, the company announced a quarterly dividend of 92 cents per share, up from the previous 89 cents, with a projected annualized dividend of $3.68 and a 2.1% yield. Insider trading activity has also been noted, with CAO Patricia Y. Gretsch selling 192 shares and EVP Heather S. Ace selling 3,200 shares in recent transactions. Insiders have collectively sold 9,310 shares in the last quarter, representing a small fraction of the company's total stock ownership. Analyst sentiment remains mixed, with a consensus rating of hold and an average price target of $172.40. Research varies, with Royal Bank of Canada raising its target to $175 and assigning a sector perform rating, while Loop Capital upgraded the stock to a buy with a $185 target. Other firms like Citigroup maintained a neutral rating with a target of $160, and Mizuho cut its target to $140. Overall, while analysts are cautious, the company remains a key player in the semiconductor and telecommunications equipment sector, known for its Snapdragon platforms and wireless technology leadership.